Well, a big hello to you and welcome to Saturday. It's another week has zipped on by and you've arrived at this bizarre show called Ramsey. Well, that's actually me, and we kind of talk about synths and drum machines and sequences and Eurorack and anything that kind of is music tech and geekery, and yeah. So big welcome to you. Thank you very much if you're new for joining us. Please stick around. We do have a couple of cool things that we do regularly, plus we've got, a topic each week that we like to sort of cover. But first, I'd like to say hello to everyone. Now, I've got a special guest that's come in this week, and you can have a little bit of a squeeze at everyone that's here. But without further ado, I think we'll probably say, because new guests can go first. Big hello to you, Marshall. Thank you for joining us. How's your week been?
It's been excellent. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Oh, it's absolutely awesome to have you. Now, Marshall, you're going to be showing us probably what everyone's probably come here to watch later. So you're going to be running the show pretty much from there. The BlueARP DM, which is in all of its glory. Yes, look at that. It looks amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to check that out a bit later. That's a bit of a teaser, eh? But before we do, we'll probably go around the traps and say hello to everyone. We'll start with Andy. How's your week been? Thanks for joining us again.
Hi everyone. Week's been all right. I've been actually trying to do some music. Some of it was all right. Most of it was rubbish. I actually really got annoyed at myself for how much drivel I managed to produce and got really cross. But I've bought something for the studio on Ranzi's recommendation, and it's just brilliant. Let me show you.
What'd you get? A shaver's brush.
Absolutely brilliant. How I never thought about this before. You can just give everything a nice clean, and all the dust comes away, and it's just, it's fantastic. I wish I'd had one years ago.
It actually does a good job, doesn't it?
Was Ranzi. Yeah. Thank you for suggesting it. It was. It cost me a whole princely £3.99. That did.
And the good thing about it is you can just leave it lying around there. So
I just leave it there. Yeah. A quick flicker of it. Oh, I get my pinny on and do a bit of dusting. It's lovely.
Get your pinny on. All right. On that note, we'll go to Darren. How you going, Darren? How's your week been? Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, it's been good. Busy, very busy. As you can see, I've not got any 12 inches up because I've been doing this side of the desk again.
Right.
And then
you've got the yellow bits there.
Writing, yes. Yeah, and then writing that little mini album, which I'll make as a CD.
Mm-hmm.
From the track that I did last week, and then realised that I haven't got a track to go out tomorrow, so I've been scrabbling around looking for some old stuff to try and bring back up to something decent to go out tomorrow. So yeah, I've been quite busy.
Awesome. I actually do like the way you've set your stuff up there. We'll probably come back and have a bit of a chat about that, because I can see a couple of new changes you've got there. But definitely got my
Waldorf setup.
Got my gas meter sort of flopping about at the moment, that's for sure. Right, and so that's everybody here that's video called. And we've also got a bunch of really awesome people, which we call the live chatties, and they're in the chat room. I've said g'day to them before, but let's just do it again just for formalities, because these are really important, these people. Starting off with Finn, awesome to see you. First in the chat room today, Azio Head, good to see you, mate. I'm going to scroll. Richard Grolks is here. Megamark is here. Inky's here. Who else? Wayne Murray, Intergalactic Federation, which is Dazza. Nice to see you, mate. Sergio, Mr. Mac, JX3D. Who else? Who else have I forgotten? Scrolling a lot now. By the time I get to do this, it just scrolls forever. I know there's more people that have jumped in since then. Who else? Well, Marcus is there. Marcus from Greece. Awesome to see you. Now, I know you guys have probably heard me say this before, but this is for the main show. This is for the replay. So, IP is there. I think IP might be new. Yeah. Not IP, the IP that we know. This is technically just a nick that says IP, unless Chob has changed his nick, which I don't think he has. And then we've also got Marko Petrovsky as well, who's just snuck in just before I was about to change the screen. So big hello to everybody there.
Marko Petrovsky.
That's
new name.
It is a new one. So you guys can see yourselves just there. Now, another thing I wanted to introduce you guys to is something new that I'm doing in this stream. So hopefully, cross fingers, nothing breaks. And that is that I'm actually streaming from this box today. So the stream is going out. You can see it says on air there. Probably shouldn't go near that button. Probably shouldn't touch that. This is the new A10 Mini Pro ISO. Yeah, take the stream off there. Now, what I'm trying is, I'm trying something new. That is that I've got the 3 video callers coming in, and hopefully it keeps the quality of the video callers video. How would you say it? The video callers video in as much good quality as you can. And just having a look at Marshall. Marshall's coming all the way from the US across to Australia and then back out to you. And these 2 gentlemen are coming from the UK across to Australia and back out to you. So I reckon it's actually, in my mind, it actually seems clearer. But let us know in chat if you feel that looks a bit clearer and more stable this week. So what I'd be really, really keen to see is when Marshall gets his hands on his little BlueARP, and we're going to hear some sounds from his end, and we'll see how that translates through. But before we do, we've got some segments to get through. And if you're new here, you're about to be probably disappointed. Let's start with this one. Yes, you've reached the end of the internet where they say stranger things may happen. And actually, this is where we kind of scrounge around and find memes that you may spit your beer out. And starting with this one, Bob's cable management was amazing. Sadly, the patch was crap. It just gets better, this show, trust me. Don't you wish you had like a digital processor on that synth so that you could actually saw the patch? Oh, dearie me.
All that, and he got a sine wave out of it.
He got a sine wave, yeah.
Right.
Next one. All the fart sounds. We talked about fart sounds last week, weren't we? Okay, we have got this one. Oh, this one's crazy. Okay, so I'll do it for you. So DJ Ricky's in the house. Sorry, I'm trying to keep a straight face here. Sir, I'm not a DJ. I play synths. Can you spin the new beat in your new set, next set? I'm not a DJ. Dude, you know where I can scoop some Moby or Molly, I think it says? I am not. And he turns into the Hulk. DJ. And then let us know in chat if that's happened to you. Maybe not quite turning into the Hulk.
Yes,
but
it definitely has. It definitely has, that one. But people, when I've done a gig, people used to say things like, oh, I love it. I love it when you're DJing, Andy. I said, I'm not a DJ. I've just played live. I've just stood there with a stack of synths, drum machines, a chuffing Atari ST computer, and you're calling me a DJ. I'm not a DJ. And so I 100% identify with that. I probably also used to go slightly green around the gills, and my eyes would start to bulge as well.
Turning into the Hulk. Well, speaking of you, Andy,
the best thing then for when playing live.
I think you
bring the box on stage and just go.
I think you brought this one in, Andy. Speaking of you. Hermatten Holt Heinen Ranta. So what's the going with this? It's rude, is it? Okay, so I'll probably just get pinged, will I?
Yeah, unfortunately, well, the German einen herunterholen means, well, it can mean 2 things. It can mean to fetch one down from the top, which is what he's obviously just done. He's just lifted one of those boxes off the top. Or it can mean to, well, it's a sort of a word for masturbating, really. So
to bat one out.
So it's the double meaning. I just thought that I thought that was funny, but I guess you need the German, I suppose, for it to really work.
So if anyone's picked up on that one,
to fetch something down from the top is a euphemism for, well, self-pleasuring.
And what is that Akai? A VX? That'd have to be like a video recorder, surely.
No. It's a little analog synth mod. Is it a little analog synth?
A VX 600. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get it off the screen before anyone spits their beer out. Okay. What else have we got? We have got one more. No, that's not it. We have this one. Yes. This one I thought was This one is kind of a bit of a hint to what might be on next week's show. But everyone said when the TX7 came out, and then Michael Bolton is the reality. Ah, dearie me.
Oh my god.
They just get,
Question
they get
is,
worse.
which would you rather listen to?
Ah, dear me.
I'd
Neither.
really struggle to answer that one.
Now, I am going to admit that I'm not
Sorry,
responsible
Robbie's
for
in the
these
chat.
names. Robbie's in the
Robbie's
chat.
in the chat. Sorry, Robbie.
Now, Robbie, I purposely didn't put that on next week because I knew you'd get angry. And Jamie's
If you
in there
like
as well.
Michael Bolton, that's fine.
Well, we shall persevere on to the next segment. I think we do have some news this week, so let's hit the news. Not a lot, but it'll do. Now, starting with the news this week, we have news from Arturia that they've brought out a new version of the Microfreak, which is a vocoder edition. Now, this is going to be kind of like a limited special edition. You can already see that they've done a new paint job on it. There's a gooseneck microphone you can get with it as well. So, but if you've already got a Microfreak and you're thinking, I don't want to have to buy another one just to get the vocoder, well, you're in luck because there's actually a free firmware update. And you can download that, I believe, now. So try it out. But you won't get the new paint job, but you'll definitely get the vocoder features in there. There's a new 16-band vocoder engine, and there's a bit more. I do have a video, so we should try that out. Hopefully that works, including the YouTube warning there. That's important, that statue, obviously.
La musique souvent me prend comme une mer.
Who's that
Vers
dude?
à l'étoile. Sous un plafond de brume ou dans un vaste éther.
All right, who was that dude anyway? The guy that was projected on the back wall. Anyone pick that out?
Yeah. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, it looks a bit like me with the big fat face. Anyway, so we should keep going on. Is anyone interested in the Microfreak Vocoder Edition? You can grab one soon. They're going to be priced at €329. Like I said before, you can update your existing Microfreak to firmware 2.1. It's available now as a free download. You can just get yourself a gooseneck microphone and plug it into the back and it will work. But you can also purchase the actual gooseneck microphone that comes with the vocoder edition from Arturia as well, separately for €29 as well. So there you go. Now, should we have a quick look at their website just to see if there's anything else that we missed? Let's do that. And we get rid of this. There we go. So it's all the information is over here on their website. I actually really like this design that they've come out. It's kind of white with some nice decals across it. It actually looks really, really nice. And you can see there's the link there if you already own a Microfreak. And there's that dude on the back. Yeah, I don't know who he is. No one's told us in the chat yet. That's Arturia's product engineer. Okay, fair enough. We've just insulted him. Arturia will never use me anyway, so that's fine. That's what the gooseneck mic attachment looks like on the back, which I thought was quite interesting. But yeah, what do you guys think of the new Microfreak Vocoder Edition? Anyone want to have a comment about that?
cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go with
the microfreak.
Let's go with Marshall.
PCB keyboard thing on there is not my favorite thing, but I didn't know that they even had an audio input on that. I thought that because that was one of the things that, like, when that came out, I remember talking with a couple guys about it, and they were like, it would be nice to have an audio input to run stuff through the filter. So it's like kind of a magical hidden feature all of a sudden showing up on this thing, which is cool.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Actually, someone can tell us in the chat if they've got a microfreak. Does it have an audio input on it?
Apparently, it was always there. On the headphone socket on the original microfreak, it's actually a three pin tip ring sleeve socket. So it was always there, but it just hadn't been enabled. So the software update on the microfreak now enables that part of the headphone socket, if you get me. So that gooseneck thing, which fits in the back, is enabling the microphone, and you can use the little sort of Apple earbud things with the microphone built in as well. Apparently they will work too. I think it's interesting that the microfreak this one is white and it looks better in white, but the BeatStep Pro and the KeyStep look better in black.
Yeah.
Why is that? Or is that just me?
No, I agree. Absolutely.
Contrary.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, Marshall, you were going to say?
I was going to say, okay, so it's got the TRRS connection, like on a cell phone. If you were going to plug in headphones with a mic on it, it's got that extra ring on it, and that's where the mic jack comes into play, I guess. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a hidden feature. Fantastic.
Yeah. Cool.
That was quite smart. What about you, Darren? Do you have any opinions of the microfreak? Is that something now that you might get?
No. Can you see anywhere I can put anything anymore? I've literally got no room.
Strapped to the back of your chair, maybe?
It's I don't know what to say. It's good upgrade, I suppose. A special edition. They like special edition stuff, don't they? Well, like you say, I like the white colour. I think it looks. I quite like it in the white.
Does anyone actually know if the actual surface of it is it all metal? I know where the keys are. It's kind of like a metal thing, isn't it? With a like lumpy sort of feel to it. Where's that photo gone again? Is that all metal, that surface? Or is it plastic?
I thought it was plastic, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe it is metal. I don't know.
And guys in the
Last
chat
time
can
I
let us
touched
know.
one was at KnobCon last year. So, and I don't remember what the panel was, if it was metal or not.
Jamie's saying it's all plastic. Okay. All right, cool.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, let's keep going. We have not a lot of news, like I said, but not much happening really in the big wide world. But this might be interesting for you guys. And that is that you can turn your DM12, DM6 desktop or DM12 desktop or DM6 DM12 keyboard edition into a Juno with the Juno decals. There's actually a couple of others as well. Now this is quite interesting. I haven't seen anyone do this yet. So this is a company in the UK called Tora Records. And let's have a bit of a look over here. Let's turn that off. Let's get this up. And we'll go over here. So you can see there is the Juno style decal. Now it's £54.99 for both the faders and the decal sticker to make your DeepMind 12 look like a Juno. And you also have what else? There was also a couple of other options as well, which I thought were kind of cool. So you had Xeon style and synthwave style. So there's a couple of different color schemes there. So the Xeon was kind of greeny yellow. Have a bit more of a closer look at that. I thought was quite nice. And anyone. So if you just want to get the sticker, it's only £19.99. But if you want to get the fader and the decals, it's £54.99. Anyone interested in upgrading their DeepMind 12?
Do you have a DeepMind?
I've got a DeepMind 12. Yep. Yeah.
Would you do that? Would you like to do that? See, I haven't got one, so I don't know what it looks like for whether I want to.
I don't know. I kind of like the way it looks already. Tell us in the chat if you'd... There it is again. Would you upgrade your DeepMind 12 to look like that? To me, that doesn't quite look like a Juno. I mean, the sticker part does, but the faders don't.
Nah. No.
Well, the blue and the red is 106, isn't it?
Yeah.
The blue and the red is 106, the actual livery, but the actual faders were grey, weren't they?
They were grey or white, weren't they? Yeah.
I'm sure they weren't red and blue faders on the Juno 106.
What are they on?
It makes it look a bit more lively.
What are they on yours, Darren? They're black, aren't they?
Yeah, they're black with like a white stripe just along the top. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, let me move out the way that way.
Yeah.
I don't think you can see them, but yeah, they're black with a white stripe on.
So if you got this kit and you didn't get the faders, you would actually have a pretty closer look, because the faders on the DeepMind are already black. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it looked better because there's too much red and blue faders there.
Yeah. And it would help maybe a little bit with just quick glance at the synth, having the different colors there, but I think it looks better by the way it came.
Yeah, I like the way it is now.
That's just me.
Guys in the chat saying, I have the DeepMind's, Marco saying I've got the DeepMind 6, and it's a no from him. Who else is saying it's a no? Marcus is saying, I'll leave mine as it is. Yeah, so kind of most people are kind of agreeing with me. I actually really thought the design of the DeepMind was actually quite nice. So, yeah, I don't know who came up with that idea, but someone may want to do that. So it's not for everyone. Let's go back, which we've got one other little bit of news too, which I thought kind of snuck in during the week. Where did it go? Ah, that's right. We've got to go back to... Sorry, just let me get my setup going again. Right. I don't know where the photo's gone. I've lost my photo. 1 second, people. Technical problems.
Yeah, press that wrong button.
No, I haven't pressed the wrong button. I'm just missing something out of here for some reason. Okay. I'll just do this. Here we go here. So the news was that a famous 9 Inch Nails musician, Cortini, I think he's actually sold it now, or he's taken it off anyway. I can't seem to find it anymore on Reverb, but there's a Buchla 406 for you. Now that's not his, I don't think, in there. But yeah, has anyone actually seen it on Reverb? Did anyone actually see the listing? Apparently it was on Reverb for a little while. And how much did it go for? Does anyone know?
Got a ping from Music Radar about this, and it said if you have to ask, you can't afford it. So
there was no price.
I suppose it was stupid money.
Now let's have a look at this. I think there's a little video of Alessandro, and I think just in the background there you can see it.
Yeah. I recorded guitar on his stuff, and by osmosis,
so this was in January
I sort of
this year.
the electronics from him in a way, and it just showed me a whole new world. And that's when.
So if you actually do want to check out his Buchla, it's in that video, and I'll link it into the description below later once all the video's up and I've finished editing everything. The work is never ending here. I need to employ someone. Anyway, right, we shall move along. We have anyone want to make a comment about any of those news items? I think we're good. We move on. Cool. Right. Next segment. Yeah. We do have some prices to watch, and I don't know how they manage to come to me every week, but they come in thick and fast. And we're going to start with this one. Apparently, this is super rare, hence the capital letters, and apparently it's vintage. Yes. You too can own a PSS 51 from 1974. I don't think it was 1974.
No way.
For a start,
1984 perhaps.
They didn't even have a microprocessor that could do it back in 74.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, US $2,000. Who's going to quickly rush out and get that one? In fact, I actually think I might even have the listing up on my screen here. Let's see.
That's hilarious, though.
Now, is this it here? Yeah, let's go across to here. Let's see if we can get this listing. It's live, guys. So here we go. Here's the real listing. This is something new I've decided to do. Let's get the new listing showing.
Oh yeah, hit that buy it now.
Should we buy it?
That's all you.
Should we get it?
No.
Add to cart.
No, don't do it.
You probably buy it and it'll show up as like a picture of one.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that fantastic photo. Oh. Doesn't that give you gas? Look, he's even done. He's even done the photo here. You can actually have a nice look at it close up. 1974.
Look at that vintage 70s synth there. Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? Hey. Beautiful. Who wants to buy that? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah.
Send me the money, and I'll get it for you. All right, we'll keep going. Okay, first one. Second one is this one. This one's quite cool.
Oh, heck.
Hey? A dub rec. I think it's stylophone or xylophone. Gen R8 touch analog synthesizer. Limited. Everything's limited or rare or owned by a bunch of alpacas.
If you want to sell it for slightly more, you just go, it's limited.
Mint. My favourite word is mint.
Do you know anything about that one, Ramsey?
No, you can talk about it. I'll get up the website while you're doing it, if you like.
It's they're a British company, I think. In spite of their name looking French, I think they're British, but they basically started reissuing all these sort of stylophone things. But that's a full two oscillator analog synth with a touch plate keyboard, and it sounds really, really dirty. It's actually a fantastic little synth. I had a play on one of those at Synthfest last year, and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. In fact, it's one of Gaz Williams' favourite machines. He loves it. I think they were about £300 new, which is going to come out at about, say, $400. So it's not a huge amount over the new price, but it's still more than you would really pay for one, because you can get one new for less than $599.
So this is not limited at all, is it?
No, it's a fantastic thing. It's built like a piece of Russian military equipment. It's really, really heavy. It's a fantastic thing. I mean, I wonder if there's anybody in the chatties who actually might have one, because there's plenty of them out and about there. So it just might not have made it to Australia.
Nothing makes it here, mate, except convicts. Right, moving right along.
I didn't say that.
Whoa.
What about this one?
Oh, it's pink.
It's pink, Inky Warrior. The custom Onde Magnetique OM1 cassette synthesizer. Oh, la ga. Quick, catch the train to France, everybody. There it is.
They even have a video, don't they?
But it's from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Or PA, is that Pennsylvania?
It is. It's from Phoenixville. Let's have a bit of a closer look at it, because it is on Reverb right now. Reverb, you can send me the money later on. Yeah, there you go. 2,450 smackaroos, eh? Excellent condition. What have we got? Yes, it comes with the Sony. With the pink tape. Yeah.
Wow.
And
what is it?
This is the flute.
What is that? Yeah.
What the hell is it?
That is weird.
Dear. Now, I wonder if the video actually works on here. Should we try? Oh, it's a YouTube video. Oh, maybe we'll get pinged. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. All right. Oh, yeah, we're getting sound. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's right. It speeds up and slows down the tape. So it's like a monophonic mellotron.
This actually be pretty cool.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's $2,500 cool or however much.
I like the way we're all laughing at it, and now we're all looking at it going, wow.
Oh, hang on.
We're all like, ooh, that's pretty neat.
That sounds like a dick for laughing at it now. No. I was just going to say...
It's It's going through a Strymon and 1,001 Euro rack modules to make
anything
it sound
sounds good. Like yeah, but we did show something similar to this. I think on my midweek MIDI show with Andrew Mee, who some you guys might remember. He's the MIDI guy that comes on every now and then. Now he actually showed a tape thing like this. So and it definitely wasn't $2,400 that's for sure. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I think that's all we have. Oh no, there's one more. I don't cut it off just yet. There's one more. I think Andy showed us this one. Do you remember showing us this one, Andy? Korg Electro.
Because I put that.
Is it an ER? Or is it an ARM? It is an ER Mark II.
Mark II.
Yeah. 200 quid.
That in. Doesn't seem like a scam to me, that.
200 quid doesn't seem too unreasonable, does it?
Seems about right, yeah.
It's like new.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good nick. Nothing scammy about that. Right. Manchester.
Heaven only knows.
Oh, maybe it was maybe just because Darren was selling his Electro. I don't know. It did say it's coming from
yours,
Manchester.
Darren? No, I don't think so. I have no idea. I can't remember.
It just might have been a stab at Darren. Or maybe Darren, you should just pick it up and you could join Andy with the Electro, jams or something. Just
Eternity.
Meet in the middle of the hill somewhere and jam your Electrobes. Take a Jenny with you. Anyway, that's it. Yeah. We have reached the end of all the cool segments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know in chat if you're new and you are lurking and you enjoyed those segments because we do kind of pump them out every week. But without further ado, I think we can go across now to check out the BlueARP, the mysterious BlueARP. And Marshall, I think it'd be a good time, if any, to actually tell us a little bit about this. It's in beta, isn't it, at the moment? So...
Yeah, so the unit that I've got here is a pre-production unit, and this is based on the BlueARP VST arpeggiators / step sequencer that's been available for many years by Oleg Mikheyev. So he's developed this into a hardware unit now, and basically what it is 8 instances of the BlueARP arpeggiator VST, but in a box now. And it's got 4 MIDI DIN ports for outputs that you can route to hardware synths. And it's got a couple MIDI DIN inputs as well as a USB input as well. So, and it's bus powered over USB. So you could either plug it into a portable power bank or, run it off, a MIDI port on your computer, or a USB port, sorry. So that's kind of the idea of it. Is it's based on the actual VST software that's freely available, and so if you understand how BlueARP works, it's pretty much the same thing but with a few extra things. And one of the cool things that you can do with this is you're actually able to chains, if that makes sense. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this here. But there's a setting in here called meta chains, and I'm trying to find the page. Here it is here. So you can actually, it's probably not readable on the screen, but you can actually set it to chain a bunch of different sequences together, and you can switch them on the fly by pressing the buttons here. So I'm able to switch. So like with this one, I'm actually changing a couple of the instances to different patterns, or I'm muting or unmuting patterns, if that makes sense. So that's one of the cool things about this. It's also able to send patch bank changes and things like that, so you can actually switch sounds on your synths remotely, all from here. So it's from my standpoint and the type of music I make a lot of trance music and techno stuff. So that stuff is very arpeggiator driven for the most part. And so having something like this in a hardware form is really cool. Because to do this with software, you'd have to, have a DAW and route things all over the place and get it to work that way. With this, you just plug your synths in, set your MIDI channels, and it's really easy to edit the patterns, like in here. So we have the different patterns. Oops, and I think I'm actually... Yeah, so like instance 1 is running to a JP8080 over here. Instance 2 is going to a TB3. Instance 4 is going to my Waldorf Kyra. Sorry, that was actually instance 3. Instance 4 is going to a Virus TI. 5 is going to the Kyra. 6 going to the TI. And 7 is not in use. But anyway, so this is like, for me personally, this is like a dream come true having this thing. You could set everything up and then you can do a whole set of music without needing a computer.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So
this is
just
beta firmware.
So just
pre-production hardware, but
on the sort of spec side, it's an 8-track ARP / step sequencer, isn't it? So you can either have an ARP or a step sequence running on each of the 8 tracks, right? Independently.
Correct.
Okay, cool. And so where does this
8 timbres, right? So
yeah. So and are they at all? Is there any sort of inbound MIDI that you can control these from, or is it all just sort of outbound?
So the way it works is you can plug so right now I have my Novation SL61 Mark II plugged into the MIDI or the USB input here, and it recognizes the actual controller. Let me find the page for that. Right here. So it notices the SL Mark II, and I've used like a key step, my Arturia key step as well.
Yep.
So that's cool. So you just plug it in, and you've got control. And what happens is if you press keys, whatever chords you press or whatnot, that gets sent over and triggers the arpeggiators or sequencers. And the way it works is it requires you to input some kind of note on, note off commands. But you can also map controls, like these sliders here on the controller. I can map those to do things on the synths. So BlueARP will translate the MIDI CC over to the appropriate parameters. Yeah. So it's
kind of
cool.
a MIDI router as well.
Exactly. And because it's got a couple of MIDI DIN inputs as well, you can also either slave those with MIDI clock or vice versa, have the BlueARP slave to an external device or over USB into a DAW. Yeah. So
Now I would actually really like to get my hands on one of these purely because I want to see how it would behave in when you plug it in, because it's supposed to be class compliant MIDI over USB, right? So I would like to see it connected up to the MPC Live or MPC X or MPC 1 because that's now got that new firmware, and I think this thing would just be killer with an MPC.
Yeah, this thing paired with the MPC Live, or what's the other one, the Akai Force? I don't know if that can do the same kind of thing.
The Force hasn't got the update yet. It's supposedly coming, Yeah. So might have to sort of see if I can get hold of the developer. We'll go to his website in a bit anyway. There's not much actually on the hardware at all on his website, I've noticed, apart from the YouTube channel, which is where I got the original graphic from.
Exactly, and that's the best place right now to get info and updates from Oleg on this, is on the YouTube channel. And so, like I said, he's still going through the firmware. I'm helping beta test and help out with a few things and recommendations. Sure. And so this isn't necessarily a gospel at the moment. I know a few things are going to change here and there. So but overall, it's been a very excellent experience. And again, like I said, for me personally, this is like a big upgrade for as a live performance tool, and that's what it's designed to be. Obviously, is a performance tool.
All right. So do you want to give us a little bit of a demo with it? Is that okay?
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Let me. Hopefully I don't mess up everything here. So yeah, let me give it a try.
Now do you have the stereo thing enabled?
I wasn't asked to enable it.
You might have to re-enable it, which means it'll probably reconnect you.
Okay,
Let's just get.
How do I do that?
It's the little cog on that little toolbar, and then hit that, and then click the 4 stereo.
Yeah, it's set to 4 stereo. Yeah,
it is. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. I'll shut up and we can do a demo. Beautiful.
Cool. So I've got percussion running off of Ableton Live, and I'm triggering those on a push. Not hearing my virus going off here, but there should be some sweeps and things happening. But yeah, basically, right now you're hearing some bass from the Kyra. The pads are from the JP8080, and obviously the TD3 was playing, and that's kind of how it works. So, and I would normally switch over here, and you would hear some additional timbres from the virus, but I don't know why that's not playing right now. I'm running that through the TI plugin, so that could be maybe that's not working right for me right now. But anyway,
I just pumped a bit of gain on your because when the music was playing, your voice is fine, but when the music was playing, I just pumped a bit of gain on it. Just to, because a few guys in chat were saying it was a bit low. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to having a bit of a chat about it. Now, one thing I will mention, and it's not a plug or anything like that, but there are similar products out there, aren't there? So the first one I think that we kind of all know of is this one, which is the Noodler. So the major difference with the Noodler is that this is more a motive arpeggiator gone completely crazy type box. And sorry, I actually had Andy muted then. Sorry, Andy. And obviously this doesn't do step sequencing, and it's only got 4 tracks, I guess you want to call it. So that's the big difference there. So in terms of standalone hardware, you know, out there, I guess you've got all your sort of groove boxes. You know, you could name plenty of them. They've got similarities, but I don't really think there's anything that kind of does what this does. I think it's a bit of a niche, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different than the Noodler. So I hadn't even heard of the Noodler until someone mentioned it after I posted my performance using this on my YouTube channel. So I looked it up and I watched the Loopop's got a video on it, and I checked out some details on the website and everything for the Noodler. And that seems more like kind of like a happy accident type of machine where you kind of set parameters and it kind of takes care of generative note making, if that makes sense. Where this is more, you configure your arpeggiator patterns or steps for a step sequence, and you can enable things to latch or not latch. And then you play keys, and you can also transpose certain keys to do different things or stay within different scales. So you have a lot of granularity within this to do some really unique things, and that I haven't seen implemented in hardware. You know, other than maybe some editable arpeggiators within other synthesizers. But again, those are, you know, that's one arpeggiator for one synth kind of thing. This will do up to 8.
Yep.
So. And it helps keep everything in time, and like all these other potential issues that you might have doing things like that. It's all taken care of with this. So
now with the actual live part of it, so does it transpose across all the tracks and things like? Does it do things like that?
Yeah, you can, and I think part of that would be setting up your chains and then within some of the other parameters in here to transpose certain things. Yep. Okay,
so is the transpose like you have to pre-program the transpose, or can you do can it actually literally shift what's happening on that track at the time?
That I have not tried, so
Okay.
I don't know for sure if that's possible in real time to do that.
Yeah.
But I know that you can definitely create patterns and chains and then switch them to transpose that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of is one of the sort of the big kind of game changers with a lot of gear, and like for example, even on the MPC, you can transpose on an MPC, but it's not as intuitive. You have to sort of hit a button and then twist a knob to select the amount that you're transposing by and let it go. And there's things that you can like the Noodler can transpose, and you can actually just put a keyboard in and press a note on the keyboard, or the whole thing will transpose to the note you're playing on. So that's
people are mentioning the KeyStep Pro's got 3 ARPs on it. Yeah, and that's true too. So
it does. Yep.
Little different implementation with how that works, obviously. But yeah, that's.
And also you can transpose as well.
Yep.
And I think the BeatStep Pro has 3 ARPs on it. Well, technically it has 3 ARPs on it as well. It has three tracks on it and one
3
live
tracks, but
ARP.
I
One
think
live
they're
ARP, yeah.
One ARP, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest thing to what this actually does. I think, but this is still a lot more specific and able to control a lot more hardware at once.
Yeah, it's actually really, really cool. I like how it's got the 2 screens. So, do you want to just give us a bit of a shot back with the 2 screen and just kind of give us a rundown why there's 2 screens and what they're kind of used for?
I think it's because the interface, and again, this is modeled. The code base, from what I understand, is the base code is the exact same as the VST. So you can actually use patterns and things from the VST version and bring them into here. So up here, you've kind of got the different levels. This is kind of where you would actually edit your ARPs and your steps. So, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that on there, but this is just like the BlueARP interface on the computer.
Right.
And so you've got a section up here, but as you move and adjust parameters, you can see things kind of moving around here.
Yep.
Right. So that's kind of the idea. And to squeeze all the information in here, this is where I would set up chains and a chain number. And I would come into the meta chains and I would set those parameters in here. This is some of the MIDI routing that you do. So I mean, it's just having the extra screen allows for the additional real estate to be able to view a lot more information. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
Because trying to do this on this little one of these screens would be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
So and then the other thing is Oleg is working on a control bit of software so that you could actually do a lot of this through an application on the computer in terms of programming.
Right.
As
Okay.
well. So that's still in development. I haven't even taken a look at that yet. Right now, the primary focus has been to get this working perfectly and make sure we get all the features that are needed. So
beautiful. Are you okay to take some questions from the chatties?
Sure.
Alrighty. We'll start off with. I'll keep you on screen, Marshall. We'll start off with if you guys in chat have a question that you want to ask Marshall about the BlueARP DM, fire them in the chat now. Now, starting off with Grey Wolf 2004 RU. Great, Nick. Hi, gentlemen. Marshall, can you leave one instant active and play some of the factory bank patches to give the idea how the ARP works? So he's asking you to do a demo.
And Great Wolf over there, that's Oleg. So he's the man with.
Oh, he's the man. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's the man.
Ah.
So yeah, let me play something. And let me go in and let me mute some of this stuff here. So we'll just do the Kyra since that's going. So then you can see in some of these pages, it'll actually show you what the keys, what is going on in the different steps.
Yep.
Oops, let me back out. So to change the programs, we go up to here. Actually, I can change it up. Sorry, it's hard to see where my little cursor is. There we go. Okay, so I'm on like program 84, but I can change these around.
Right, gotcha.
I don't know if that's too quiet or not. But...
So if Grey Wolf's in the chat, got another question while Marshall's just getting that set up. A few people are asking how much do you think it's going to be when you release it? What's the kind of guide price? If you don't have it, just a gut feeling.
Yeah, that I don't know. That would be definitely an Oleg question if he's got information on that.
The flickering is probably Marshall's got a fan on his ceiling.
I've got a fan, and yeah, my camera may not be matched to the refresh rate. That's not visible.
I think it's the fan. Jamie from Geosynths is saying, will there be a HDMI out for viewing on a larger screen?
That's currently not built into the hardware at all, so that would not be possible unless there was a change to the hardware.
So is this going to be a funded type thing, or is this going to be a it's not going to be a Kickstarter or anything, or is this going to be like a proper product that you just order through?
As far as I understand, it'll be just something that you place orders for once Oleg's got that all up and going.
Fantastic. That sounds good. Definitely got a bit of a trance vibe to it, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, because that style of music is very arpeggiated or driven.
I think this is probably right up your alley, Andy.
I'm really quite interested in this, very much so.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Yeah, well, I like my apps.
I love my apps.
Chance, so.
AZO Head saying, wait for the drop.
Right.
Gotta have that noise sweep through the filter.
Yeah, so there's like up to 128 different programs in here.
Wow.
And again, you can chain all these and... Oh, there was some craft work there for you.
Beautiful. We are the robots.
Yeah, it's super, super fun. And once you wrap your head around programming your different patterns and having a good time playing, and it's super fun. Like, I've spent a lot of time with it already, and I think it's one of the coolest additions. And as somebody who's wanted to be able to do stuff live without being a DJ, like the little meme that we had earlier. This is a nice tool for that. And because it can do step sequencing and other things like that, it doesn't. It can do trance really well because the arpeggiators, but you can do all kinds of different genres with it. So it's not like, oh, that's all it can do, because it's
Can I jump in with a question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I may. I'd like to ask you, Marshall, if I may, how intuitive you found it when you first got it to use. I know you said you'd sort of used the app, but is this box something that you can actually start using pretty quickly? The reason I'm asking you is that to my right here, you can see I've got a Novation Supernova, and you can set this up so you've got 8 different parts playing 8 arpeggios. It can be the same arpeggio, there can be different arpeggios, and to actually set that up is a real ball ache. It really is a pain in the backside to actually to set up. So to have something where you can do it really sort of quickly and intuitively is something.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's quick and easy, I really feel the appeal of that. If it's something where I've got to sit down and sort of like start thinking in hexadecimal, then
literally, it's as simple as I can kind of show a little bit. Like, it's as simple as coming into your steps page after you've connected up your gear here, and literally there's already baked in programs, and so you can just literally change these around, and you're off. I mean, and to scroll through instances, you've got quick access to that with these 2 buttons here. So it goes up to 8, and you can rename all these. It's real fast. This is super simple to use without even having to necessarily change anything specific within the patterns themselves. But obviously, the more you, and it's really simple. You just navigate to these different parameters, and you can adjust these around, and you can, you can set like what key, how many keys, and how many steps, and I don't know. This is really fast, in my opinion. Now I am familiar with the VST version of BlueARP, which helps a little bit. So to me, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
How this operates, but I think it's going to be a lot easier than diving into, your setup there that you have.
Right. So we did get an answer back from Ray Wolf. He said that the retail price he hasn't set. He's got a rough calculation somewhere between $800 and $1,200 US. Small scale manufacturing and everything is quite inexpensive or quite expensive. Yeah, guys, you got to remember this sort of stuff. Like, it's not like Behringer, where they've got like a massive factory in China with all the tools and people, and they're just churning out gear all the time. It's just one guy, and he's converting something that he's had in VST format and he's making into hardware. I think it's a brilliant project, absolutely brilliant. And Andy, as you said,
I think it's
crazy. the ability to be able to punch an ARP in really quickly. I think there's some questions in chat about can you set scales and things like that on the ARPs?
Yes.
Yep. I think I saw that in the screen before. Yeah.
You can set scales. There's some other things that you can do that you can really get in and finally control what happens with the number of keys that you press. What scale do you want it in? You want it to transpose to a completely different scale from what you're like. If I'm holding a chord, you can have it transpose on certain instances to a completely different chord or different scale. It's really it can get really deep with the level of control that you have over the different parts. So
yeah. Everyone keeps asking it's a strobing or something. It's just Marshall's got a fan in his room.
I've got a fan, guys,
so he doesn't melt.
You can turn it off.
No, don't turn it off.
Melt. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want you to turn it off, mate. It's hot there right now. What is it? What temperature is it there today, mate, in your neck of the woods?
Oh, let me see. I can check.
By the way,
it's
how's
like 80 something?
80. So yeah, pretty decent temperature today.
Oh wow.
How's
89, it's 89 right now.
89. There you go. That's a pretty warm day. How is the stream going today, guys? I know it's just really sort of off topic slightly, but I am keen to know. We've been going now for an hour and 17 minutes, and it technically hasn't balked yet. But for those who are watching, I'm streaming from. This is not an ad for Blackmagic, but I'm just trying out this ATEM Mini Pro ISO now, and I've been streaming the show from that, and I've been bringing the videos in on a different internet connection. So I'm just very keen to see how the experience is on your part as a watcher, as a listener, a viewer. however you want to say it. Let us know in the chat if you're happy with the stream today. If the videos seem to be clearer, especially from the callers, the chatties that are coming in, let us know. So, any more questions for Marshall? Make sure you let us know in the chat.
Yep, and Oleg's in there too, so Grey Wolf can also answer some questions.
Yeah, it's awesome having him in there.
You might have as well. Yeah.
Jamie's asking Oleg, why doesn't he do it as a Kickstarter? I think Oleg can answer that one. I think it's more for him. Stream's looking good and sounding great. Excellent. That's really good. Yeah. I tried to do a live stream of that thing the other day, and it just was a train wreck. The thing that tripped me up was I didn't know you had to update the software. I've got this thing called ATEM software control, and nothing was working, and I'm trying to get this thing, connected, and I couldn't see it, and it literally was as simple as me having to download a new version of the software, and then everything worked fine. But there was another problem I had too, and this is actually probably a good thing. If you are thinking about going out and buying one of these, one of the things that you will probably want to do is get yourself a SSD external USB-C drive, and as you can see, I've got one connected to it there, which is a SanDisk 500 gig, and it's pretty quick as well. It's an extreme version. But that wasn't the first one that I first bought. The first one that I bought was this thing called a Samsung T7, and it's like a touch thing. It's got this little button on it, which I don't know what it does, but someone will tell us in the chat. This thing just did not work at all. I don't know, Darren. I actually haven't read it's the boxes on the floor. Literally, all I wanted it for was just to record video files, but it literally didn't work. So I was messaging the guys at Blackmagic Design. They got back to me within an hour. How quick was that? And they told me, you probably got the wrong drive. Out of all the USB drivers in the world, you've probably got the only one that doesn't work. So don't buy the Samsung. Doesn't necessarily mean don't buy the Samsung drives. Just don't buy the touch ones, the T7, I think they call it. So they don't work in it. But anyway,
I think one of them has a fingerprint thing, so it's locked until your fingerprint's on it.
Yeah. Well, what was happening is it was kind of weird. Like, so basically, when you record on this thing, you've got three options on recording. You can record the main output, which is what you guys are seeing. You can record multi-camera, so it records 5 videos. It records all individual cameras, the 4 camera inputs, and the main output. And you can record this thing called ISO, which is literally the benefit of this product completely. So it records everything that I said before, plus a DaVinci Resolve project with all the transitions, everything, all that you've pressed all these buttons during the record. And the problem with the Samsung drive is it wasn't recording the ISO for some reason, and I have no idea why. It's probably some sort of electrical issue with it. But yeah, trap for young players. These things I've found out in the last few days. So no matter how hard I would try to have that live stream, it just would have been train wreck after train wreck. I could have updated the software, that I still wouldn't have been able to show on the ISO record on it, which would have been pretty nasty anyway. What I think we'll do though, now don't go anywhere. We're going to snap off the main show because we've been going for a little bit. Stay around. This is for the live people. We're still going to continue on a little bit after this, but I'm going to roll the stinger. So let's do a virtual goodbye for those who are watching us on the replay. Say see you later, everyone. Don't go anywhere if you're actually watching this. Stay here. We'll be back in a sec.